Welcome to the second game here on SportsNetUSA.net. Cypress takes on Mount SAC. Mount SAC comes away with a big victory on that first game. And now it's up to Brad Pickler and his young women to square it out, balance the balance sheet, win game number 2, so that they'd all start the day the same way. They'd finish the day. One more win, one more loss for each team. So we're just starting here in the first inning. Sandoval is in the circle for the Hornets today. Armenta behind the plate. Paige Schaefer still over at first. Huerta at second. Adamondo at short. Emily Rush is over third in this game. In left is Jordan Thompson. Cameron Curiel in center. And Ariana Henke in right field. Mount SAC will start it off with Miss Coronado. Starting things out, Arleigh Coronado, who strikes out to start off this game. Corey Neyland along with me with Ed Ford and Albert Robles. Well, Corey, we'll see if Mount SAC can take 2 today.
And Arellie's sister Ariana now checks in, batting number 2. She plays, shortstop for the Mounties, and they came up big in that first game. As there's a meeting on the mound, Brianna Boris batting number 3 for the Mounties. In the 4 spot is Alyssa Gonzalez, who gets the start today instead of Ortiz at third base for this game. Emily Barba, who came in and pinched hit and stayed in the ball game in right field in that first game today. Bravo is designated player. Then Moran, Haley Moran, Celeste Cortez, and Riley Morano. For some reason, I thought you were going to stop me.
Well, pop fly to Curiel in center. She pulls it down for an easy little floater for out number 2.
Mark,
Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
Mark, I just saw you, and I looked. I thought you were going to say something, in my mind just.
Now batting number 9, Brianna Boris.
Okay.
Goris comes up here, Corey. I tell you what a display of athleticism this young woman's got for Mount SAC. She's agile around first base. She plays well with her glove over at first base, and then she can drive the ball. She can loop the ball. She can do almost anything as a hitter for Mount SAC. I mean, those 2 doubles she hit were ferocious in the first game. And then that single that really helped break the game open was a lot of top hand with top spin on it. And there she drives another one, deep center field. It's going to be off the wall. And let's repeat it again. Double in the first game in the first inning, double in the second game. Her slugging percentage is 1,300. The majority of her hits are extra bases.
Somebody made her mad during the break.
I didn't talk to her.
Mark said ferocious.
Now
That was
batting number
violent
21, Alyssa
in the straightaway
Gonzalez.
center field. 585 batting average.
That's amazing. Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez playing third base. So
Alyssa's got 3 home runs this season. And Goris is as impressive of a hitter as we've seen since Emily Olagi at Santa Ana Canyon.
down in the dirt.
Riley Sipe was pretty good as well.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney McCollum here at Cypress. But right now, Goris is on a whole nother level this season.
Curiel battling the wind, pulls that one up. So no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the first, well, Mount Sac didn't do anything. Cypress is coming to bat here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and the old guy bringing you game number 2 today, Corey. When you look at what happened in that first game, what did you see out there from both these teams?
We saw just a great game, a great college softball matchup between these two great franchise or programs. Mount Sac 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error in the first game. Cypress 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. It was really a pitching duel for the first 7 innings. Both pitchers played well, trusted their defense to make plays, and they did. Emily Rush had 2 strikeouts. Pison had 1 strikeout in that ball game. But again, they pitched just well enough to keep the ball in play. But as the game went on, and Ed and both of you can attest to that, Mount Sac wore down Cypress, and when they got to extra innings, Emily Rush just couldn't contain.
Navarrete coming out there. ERA 0.99 in the circle for Mount Sac. 6 wins, no losses, 1 complete game. As Emily Rush comes up, unfortunately the loser of that first game today, playing third base now in game number 2 for Cypress. First pitch off the corner.
She started her day at the plate with a double. Then after that, she popped out 3 consecutive times to the infield.
And it looks like it's going to continue as she pops out quickly over to Brianna Boris to start the bottom of the first.
Now batting number 15, Jordan Thompson.
So Thompson comes up. Infield will come up. Gonzalez over at third sneaks in. Boris sneaks in from first. Jordan, the lefty, takes that one there. Boris at first. Morano at second. Coronado at short. Gonzalez at third. That's the infield for Mount Sac. Thompson back to the mound. Taken right there, thrown over to first. 1-3, 2 quick ups, 2 quick down. Start this first inning off. Outfield is going to be Arleigh Coronado in left, Ashley Diaz in center, and then Haley Moran over in right. That's the defense for Mount Sac. Big strike on the first pitch to Sandoval.
Went 1 for 4 with a triple in the first game. Popped out, grounded out, and flew out.
That one in the dirt. So Serena in the circle. ERA under 1. Mount Sac just marching to a different beat right now in the game of softball. Off the corner, fouled away. Breeze picking up just a little here at Cypress College Field. Home of the 9-time state champions for Brad Pickler. Right hand a little too quick there.
And I believe these are the only 2 teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'll look at my history, that have won back-to-back championships in California Community Softball.
Don't we have our historian sitting here on the board today, Ed Ford?
I'd run and get my bag, but it's too far away.
Just a little high off the play.
I believe
3-2
Corey
to
is
send
right, though
I'm going to check my technology.
maybe Golden West did it.
That would be during the Judy Rankin days. Right, Ed?
Yeah.
When you say
in
that?
the early 80s, late 70s. But Corey could be right.
Now batting
Certainly
number
it
12,
hasn't happened in a long
Schaefer.
time. You know, recently Cypress and Mount Sac are the only two. They have the most appearances too in the final, final game too. So you have two storied championship teams playing here.
Paige Schaefer comes to the plate. Playing first base again here in the second game. Takes the first pitch in for a strike. 2 outs, runner at first. Just started this second game. Mount Sac woke up in the second game in the late innings to have a victory there. Mount Sac #1 in the state poll right now. Schaefer, Boris snags it out of the air and gets that play at first. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base as we've completed 1 full inning to play. It's Mount Sac 0, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed, I see you're looking at the scoreboard over there, so give us some updates of what's going on around California.
Okay, we have, I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a final. Antelope Valley 7, Oxnard 7. I didn't think we have a tie, but that's a game at the Ventura Spring game, so there might have been a time limit on that. Fullerton is playing up there, but no mention their score. Bakersfield shuts out Oxnard 13-0, and a team that is on fire in Northern California, Butte, they beat Shasta 15-0, a no-hitter by Savannah Wall. Not a perfect game. She struck out 4 and walked 2, so Butte has the #1 RPI in Northern California, and I would say they're a surprise team. They're just the #1 ranked team, so they're really playing some softball. So we'll see what happens when they get into the playoffs. Other than that, we had a final. This must be a final. San Mateo Solano 5-1 San Mateo, and Santiago Canyon beats Canyons by a score of 5-3, 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Hawks. Now back to Mark and Corey.
Barba's going to start off here at the top of the second. Playing center field for Mount Sac. Fouls that one off. So Sandoval in the circle for Cypress College. Sandoval with an ERA of 2.43, 31 innings so far this season, 20 strikeouts, only 12 walks so far.
And if you look at the overall rankings for RPI in the state, Mark, Corey, Mount Sac has the highest RPI. Second is Butte.
And I agree with you, Ed. Butte is a surprise up north. Only 1 loss. San Mateo has got 2 losses. San Jose 3, but Butte could be the team if they can keep pitching. And that's really the thing about the Northern California teams. If they get that pitching, they've got a chance.
Next pitch, down and away. 2-2's the count here in the top of the second.
And it's not as if they haven't played some teams. They played Sac City. They played Consumnes, who both of those teams are ranked. San Joaquin Delta.
Oh, pop fly going back, and it's going to drop foul. So Armenta goes back, tries to make a play on it along with Emily Rush. It's going to go foul. And we will get a little more into the discussion of Northern California in this game. Next one fouled away. Ed and I talked about it last time with RPI and state rankings and everything else. We always do talk about Southern California teams and how good they are. Ed's already mentioned that Butte's the real deal. Could be a challenger for the state championship. That one fouled away behind us.
And overall in the state, once again, the top ranked team is Mount SAC. The second highest ranked team is Butte.
Fly ball to right field, settling underneath it with a nice little basket catch out there was Ariana Henke. So Ariana makes a nice play in right field.
Now batting number 4, Desiree Bravo.
Well, Ed, when you look at that state poll, I mean, state poll is Mount SAC, Butte. Then we've got San Mateo, San Jose, Santa Ana, Palomar, Serra, Long Beach City, Cypress. So sort of the top, it's sort of split between north and south, those first few rankings in the state poll. Bravo, designated player, is up the plate.
You know what rankings I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the true rankings, the SportsNetUSA.net 16 rankings.
I haven't seen those. Have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, I would, out of that list, the official rankings, I would rank Santa Ana higher than 5th place. Sorry.
They would be number 2.
So they call that a swing, so it's 1 and 2.
I could go along with that. They could be number 2. I'd rank Long Beach a little higher too.
Inside pitch, fouled off. So you guys would go Mount SAC first, Santa Ana second.
Yeah, Butte
in the
3.
state poll. And
Then Butte 3.
Butte 3 in the state poll. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I agree with Ed also about Long Beach. I'd put them ahead of Sierra as well. And maybe Palomar, but I haven't seen Palomar play this year. But I would definitely put them ahead of Sierra.
Well, I'd move Cerritos up too, just because of where they're sitting right now in their own conference and only losing 2 games. I think Cerritos is really low in
Definitely
the
ahead
state.
of Cosumnes River.
Yeah, I think you move Cypress up. I think you move Cerritos up there.
And I think Cerritos is the same team as Sierra up north.
Drive to right field, looking for an alley to drop. It does. With maybe another misplayed ball, but we're going to give that a double out in right field.
And that's 2 for Cypress misplayed in right field. Bravo, infield single and a single and walked, grounded out in the first game. Her first out, her first ups in the second game of the double header. A nice little double.
So Moran comes up playing right field today for Mount SAC. Swings through the first pitch.
.321 as Moran is hitting.
Fouls off the next one. 0-2's the count. 1 out. Runner at second. Mount SAC wins the first game over Cypress. Fly to left field. Over the head. It's going to go all the way to the wall. So run scores on a double by Moran. So back-to-back doubles. Gets an RBI and the first run on the board for Mount Sac.
And Celeste Cortez steps to the plate, freshman out of Alhambra High School.
Celeste Cortez.
Cortez behind the plate in this second game. And you see the depth on this Mount Sac team. I've got it. Right off of Corey Neyland's noggin. Well, close to it. Almost. I didn't see you fading back on it.
I'm hooked up.
Oh, okay. All right. You're tethered.
Yes.
That stopped you. All right. Okay. Shot to Emily Rush, who just squeezes it a half-inch off the ground.
They don't call it the hot corner for nothing.
So Rush
Now
makes a
batting number
nice
8,
play.
Riley Moreno.
Emily says, you know what, as many as you got from me, I'm going to steal a couple from you over here at third base. Morano now playing second base for Mount Sac comes up. 2 outs, 1 in. Here in the top of the first. Fouled back to us. So you don't have those quick hands like you used to have in the old days? Slowed down a little?
No.
Crowd behind? Oh, okay.
No, I was there.
Just want to make sure.
No. Remember, tethered.
Popped up. Foul ball. Should have been caught by Armenta, and somebody should have taken control of the play, which nobody did.
I think Armenta called them both off. Rush was rushing, coming in at third. Sandoval at pitcher. Both play third base when they're not pitching. I don't think they would have been there really in time. It would have been a diving play. Armenta maybe wants to basket catch that one.
Ball gets away, goes to the fence. Runner moves on that. So Moran now over at third.
Armenta went for the can of corn instead of the chicken strip basket.
Sounds like experience over here, right?
Yeah, I don't eat corn.
Oh, okay. All right. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Down and away, 3-2. Runner at third, 1 run in. 1 run, 3 hits. No errors for Mount Sac.
Morano fortuitous in her first game.
And Emily Rush says, just hit it to me. I'll get all 3 outs for you. One run on 2 hits. 1 left on. At the end of 1.5, it's now Mount Sac 1. Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. The tethered one, Corey Neyland and Ed Ford. Guys, you were talking about things moving up and down and what the records are. So let's get into that discussion with Ed Ford about Northern California now. Ed, you follow Northern California a lot more than Corey and I really do dedicate ourselves to. And let's be very realistic, we're homers about Southern California. We just think there's better teams and better talent here in Southern California.
Overall, yes.
Yeah, and there's a wasn't going to say a right, but you have evidence to back it up. There has never been, and we've mentioned this before, there has never been an all Northern California final. There have been all Southern California finals. As a matter of fact, the last 3 have been all Southern California finals. 2019, Mount Sac against Palomar. 2018,
Now
Mount
batting number
Sac
14,
against Palomar.
Alyssa Huerta.
2017, Mount Sac against Cypress. It was 2016 when it was Santiago Canyon against Sac City. So the Southern California is dominated, and they have the most victories overall between the two sections, easily.
Lisa Huerta comes up. Takes the first one for a strike. Was going to drop a bunt. Maybe I should have talked to Brad. You know, when we dropped 7 bunts against Fullerton, we won that game. You like how I put myself in the we? Off the plate for a ball. May have to give Brad the bunt signal when he walks by here. In at the corners for Mount Sac. Huerta takes it off the fist. Doesn't do much with it as Morano gets her out at first base.
Now batting number 3, Cameron Armando.
Armando, the shortstop for the Cypress team, a team that's had a plethora of star shortstops through the years for Brad Pickler and his 9 championship teams that he's had here at Cypress. Armando takes it right down the middle for a strike again. Goris in at first. Gonzalez in at third for Mount Sac. Navarrete in the circle. Off the plate on that one. Serena has pitched 50 innings this year for Mount Sac. Off the plate. 2-1. Wind blowing slightly in from right center. Straight across the left field fence. That's on the inside corner for a strike. Armando looking for something different. Brad Pickler down in the third base box. Quietly standing there, hoping the team rebounds from the first game. Armando goes after one in the dirt, strike 3.
Now batting number 44, Nivea Armenta.
So Armenta, who's behind the plate today, comes up. Batting .259. Takes that down in the dirt. You look at Mount Sac, a good fielding team, an excellent, we've already saw it in the first game, an excellent team in the circle. When you look at them and Cypress, it's give and take where they rank as teams in hitting, fielding, and pitching. When you talk about these teams, one may excel in pitching, one may excel in fielding, one then may come back, and the hitting aspect of it is very close to each other. Right on the edge. Put a little mustard on that one. So pick it up with a little speed, get a little giddy up. A little quiet beginning to game number 2 here. Nice little throw over to first. 1, 2, 3, back-to-back innings after Coronado makes a night's play at shortstop. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to top of 3, well, it's Mount Sac 1, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, I know you were looking to sort of reiterate about what Ed was saying.
Well, we'll have to say that Corey Neyland is right. Back-to-back championships, Mount Sac and Cypress are the only teams to do it. As a matter of fact, Mr. Pickler did it 3 years in a row, 2010, 2011, 2012. Also did it 1997, 1998, 1999. Nobody has ever done the 3 in a row, but Mount SAC has a chance to do that if they would win it this year. So if you look through the all-time champions, the majority of the teams are from Southern California. The last time a Northern California team won was with Sierra won in 2014, and we talked about they had those 2 fantastic pitchers. But if you go back before that, then the last Northern California team to win the state championship was Sac City under Tim Kiernan, and that happened in 2004. So it's been a long time in between those victories.
Yeah, only 8 times has a Northern California
Now
team
batting number
won
22, Arleigh Coronado.
in like the 40-something year history, and that was 4 times by Sacramento City, if I counted correctly, 2 by West Valley, and Sierra and College of the Sequoias have the other 2.
Coronado back up the plate, tries dropping a bunt, drops it off foul.
And Corey, as you were saying, only West Valley, I think it's only West Valley and Sac City have multiple wins.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 Northern California teams that have multiple state championships. Where in the South you have obviously Cypress, Mount SAC, Cerritos.
Palomar. Don't they have 2?
Who?
Palomar?
Palomar, yes, Palomar. I was forgetting about Palomar. Long Beach, Santa Ana as Rancho San Diego Canyon.
And Golden
College
West.
Or Rancho, whatever they were there for a little while, and then they changed it back.
And Golden West has 2.
Yeah, Golden West has multiples.
Yeah, but those are the Judy Garman years.
Doesn't matter. They still got them.
Little slap shot taken out of the air.
That was nice.
So a little athleticism in the circle for Sandoval.
And I
Now
think
batting
this
number
year,
11, Brianna Coronado.
gentlemen, it's going to be, well, not going to say maybe, it's going to be different than this year. I truly believe that the northern schools, one of the schools, is going to win the championship this year.
Are you as sure as that as you have been on some other statements you've made, like certain teams winning certain crowns that aren't even going to be close?
I'm not the only one. Everybody I know is wrong.
Joe.
Goes over our head. The other thing is, too, guys, has anybody ever been close? Ed, I don't know if you know. I know Brad went 48-0, won the state championship. Has anybody else ever been close to doing that
No,
in the state of California?
no. Every school has had at least 3 losses.
I don't think anybody, you've probably had somebody who had a record of, 2 or 3 losses. I don't know anybody that's done the perfect season thing except for Heinz Mueller at at Phoenix College, did it last year and won the NJCAA Division II softball
Yeah,
championship.
Division II, yeah.
Their team was undefeated.
Did he have 60? Because you said he plays a longer season.
It would have been close to 60, or in the high 50s. But I don't think, besides Brad here in California, if you talk about the CCAA, no, nobody's obviously ever done that, and I don't know who would be the closest team to,
I
if
want
they
to
were
say
43 and 3 or something like that.
it might have been Mount SAC with Brianna Wheeler.
Emily Rush showing you that she can play over third base so far in this game. Takes another one right there at the corner. So Emily demonstrating her defensive skills here in
Now
this
batting
game
number 9,
early.
Brianna Boris.
Brings Goris to the plate. Doubled her first time up. Ball bounces in there. So I'm sorry, Corey, because I didn't quite hear you. Who did you think did that?
Might have been Mount SAC with Brianna Wheeler a few years ago with 2 losses.
Okay. Huerta just settles underneath it, plays the wind, and brings it in. So for Mount Sac here in the top of the third, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of 3. It's Mount Sac 1, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Of course, we've already decided Southern California is better than Northern California. We've already decided that Brad Pickler's the king of Southern California, easily, over everybody else, which makes him the king of coaching in California. So the question comes down to, and you were going to say something?
I was going to say the series before, 10-10 is this series before the first game. Now Mount Sac holds the series lead, 11 wins to 10 wins over Cypress.
Yeah, but when you look at what's going on here, I mean, the question, and I brought it up to Ed, and Ed said, there's really no way to tell unless they actually played in a Sportsnet USA All-Star tournament where Arizona teams played against California teams. Since that hasn't happened, we don't know who to really crown as the best teams in the nation and or the best coach of all time in the nation unless they actually do play each other head-to-head, Ed. I think it's difficult to say which programs are
Now batting
the
number
best.
42, Aubrey New.
Well, one thing we can say about the teams in the NJCAA, they've spent some money on stadiums or ball fields, whatever you want to say, because they have some nice ones. Look like D1 facilities, except with fewer seats.
So New comes to the plate. She's the designated player of this game today. Batting 154. Upright batter. Very erect when you look at her right there when she stands up there. 2-0 count to her. Yeah, it's a shame that more Southern California teams don't invest in the game of softball.
I mean, years ago, Mount Sac put a lot of money into their facility. They have a nice facility, lights and everything. And Saddleback, from what we were told, was going to rebuild their facility. One of the few facilities with 2 fields, but the other field's really a practice field.
Next one off the plate, 3-1.
And then you have Cypress College, which has, at least when you look at it, a very nice 2-field setup with lights on both fields. And I don't still understand, they don't schedule night games and they don't have a tournament going on there.
3-1. Shot over there to third base. Taken there by Alyssa Gonzalez. Makes the play.
Now batting number 20, Cameron Curiel.
And you mentioned Citrus, Ed, that's not a place that wouldn't be inconvenient for games either, and wouldn't be inconvenient for travel.
Well, every softball field should have lights. I'm just with that on that. Corral comes up, takes that for a strike as they come squeezing down from third to first.
And also at Citrus, they have a driving range. So between games, we could pull out the drivers and,
Well, Curry,
hook and slice a few.
well, Corey could grab his putter. Corral goes the other direction. It just misses foul, and boy, howdy, that would have been a fun one to see if she was going all the way. Ed would have his driver, I'd have my 3-wood, and you'd have your putter. Only man I know that could hit a putter 220 yards, Corey Neyland. Not in the air.
Doesn't matter, as long as he gets there.
0-2 count. Takes it back up the middle. Once again, nice play made over there by Arleigh Coronado at second base for Mount Sac.
Now
And
batting
if,
number
and if we're
18,
going to
Emily
segue into
Rush.
golf, as you all know, if you're driving on the 57 freeway northbound, you see the exit that points you towards Mount Sac. Also there you see Diamond Bar Golf Course. It's all torn up. They've got the fences down. I thought they were going to put houses there, but no. The county is rebuilding Diamond Bar Golf Course. They're going to make it a little bit longer and probably just a little bit tougher. So if you're a golf fan, like Cypress AD West, well, another place to play.
Yeah. Played it many times. Emily Rush swings at that, misses it. Little drop pitch.
And I was mistaken years ago when Mount Sac won that. They went 42-5.
Emily Rush, high foul ball down the left field line. And Coronado catches it for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. At the end of 3, it's Mount Sac 1, Cypress 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, who once again admits publicly he was wrong about something.
What was I wrong about?
You said you made a mistake. That's like being wrong, so. Okay, now that we can move on with that one.
I thought they lost 2.
You thought?
Yeah,
okay.
I never said they lost 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I had said, yeah, I'm for sure that they lost 2.
Ed, didn't they change, I got to ask you something before you look at scores, didn't they change the playoffs a couple years back and then change them back?
Right. Originally it was an 8, at least in the very early 80s, it was a 8-team playoff. You had 4 from the north, 4 from the south. Then they changed it to where we had the super regionals, to where you would play, because we came out here and did them, you'd have 4 teams here playing in super regionals. Then they changed it to 2 teams in super regionals.
Leading
so
off
you
the
would
fourth
get
inning,
four
number
teams
21,
from the
Alyssa
south, 4
Gonzalez.
teams from the north. So the state tournament, the state championship tournament, is 4 from the north, 4 from the south. And I believe, once again, it's going to be held at Bakersfield College.
So we'll see what happens when we get closer to those. First pitch to
check that out
Gonzalez
for
is
sure.
fouled back.
Yes, it will be played at Bakersfield in May 19th through the 22nd. They do have 2 games at Cal State Bakersfield because of the elimination and overflow.
Drive. Wind catches it in left field. Jordan Thompson goes back and makes the play on it.
And really, Bakersfield has been hosting for quite a long time, ever since they put the money into, and they have one of the bigger, nicer facilities, press box, lights, the whole, all the things they need, and they have become the host school. So it did, 1 year Mount Sac did host the state championship, but then I'm not really sure why they decided they didn't want to anymore. So, some of the things that you need, it seems to be a press box and lights, which I think everybody should be putting those in. Yet we've had 2 new stadiums built recently, or rebuilt, or however you want to put it, fields, and no lights. Well, the one has a press box, but the Palace up there at West Valley has a press box.
Avalos pitch hit, swings at the first pitch, hits it to Huerta. So Avalos comes in and pitches for Barba. Pops out to Huerta at second base.
And we've mentioned it before.
Now batting number 4,
with how many
Desiree
victories
Bravo.
Brad has in state championships and being in the Hall of Fame, I say $1 million for each state championship he has won. So a $9 million facility needs to be built here. That's fair.
Schaefer takes that pop out by Bravo, and quickly, top of the 4th is over. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to bottom of the 4th, where we're moving right along. It's Mount Sac 1, Cypress 0 on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, Ed Ford has already given from the bank of Cypress $9 million to Brad Pickler to build a new stadium out there. Do you vote on that council for the same thing?
Yeah, somebody in this group was part of a committee that handles and gives out money.
Yeah, that old guy actually said something to the AD out here in the show.
Just needs to reach out into his pocket and but yeah, Cypress does deserve a facility. A facility that shows that you won 9 state championships. That you're one of the top, and this is not really hyperbole, one of the top 5 community college programs in the country for softball.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean, Cypress, Mount SAC, Phoenix College, Jones County?
Maybe, but they're in the NJCAA. There's been a few teams.
You said in the country.
Yeah, it's okay.
In California.
No. I mean, yeah, in the country. I'm thinking Jones County. Yeah, I can put them there.
And then maybe, what is that, Southwest? Oh, well, LSU Eunice. That's another one. And
isn't there a team in New Mexico that I'm forgetting? No. No, okay.
Not in softball.
Jordan Thompson comes to the plate.
I'm not sure there's any community colleges playing softball in New Mexico.
No, I'm thinking the wrong state.
Down and away.
Well, there's the Southwest Florida State or something like that. And, they've been a Division I type of powerhouse.
Off the plate, 3-0's the count to Thompson. Again.
Yeah, that's the one, Florida Southwestern.
Yeah, and San Mateo has a nice facility, but that's been rivaled and surpassed by West Valley's.
3-0 count, taken all the way, 3-1.
But everybody's in California has been rivaled and surpassed by West Valley. if you have a $19 million facility, you have a stunning facility. And Mark and I and Corey, I mean, we've done games at some of the D1 schools. They've got a facility.
Now batting number 5.
We haven't been there yet, but from the pictures and video, it looks like it's better. It looks better than D1 facility.
They've got a better facility than every D1 college in our 50-mile radius.
Wait a minute, does Long Beach State even have a D1 facility?
Like I said, that's in our 50-mile radius.
I still think they play with picnic baskets out there. Sandoval comes up, takes that for a strike. So Thompson walks over at first. Try to bunt, Thompson's out. Gonna have a stolen base. So Sandoval misses the bunt, but Thompson gets a great break, and now she's standing over at second. Yeah, I haven't been up there in a while, Corey, but even people will tell me that UCLA softball facility needs to be upgraded. Drive to right field, that drops. Brad waving his runner home. Here comes the throw, safe at the plate.
And with the high tag, gentlemen, you saw it there with the high tag, allowed Thompson to slide under and to be safe. Because you see the replay here, and Thompson was clearly underneath that tag. The tag was late as well as it was high. Clearly safe for Thompson. Good piece of hitting by Sandoval.
And again, Brad Pickler, an aggressive base coach for this Cypress team. always having people run, and likes to force the hand of the other team defensively, something that Ed Ford and I appreciate. Make the defense beat you. If they beat you, congratulations, great throw, great play. If they don't, you should be able to eventually run away from them. So Paige Schaefer comes up now. Game tied at 1. Ball taken for a strike. First hit of the game for Cypress. And it gets a run in. 1-1 here in the 4th. Page takes a strike on the second bunt attempt. So Sandoval with a big single. And Thompson, who got on with a walk, stole second. Scores on the single. Aggressive running by Cypress. Off the plate. Ocean breezes start up here at Cypress. Always windy in the afternoon here at softball games. Taken there by Goris. Goes to get the lead runner. Gets the lead runner. Schaefer is safe at first on the fielder's choice. So that's going to bring up Huerta, the second base person, who grounded out her first time up. Brad having a little conversation. So Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, spending school budgets, rebuilding softball facilities right and left. From UCLA to Cypress College to San Diego State. Runner starts to go.
Oh, I'm just concerned with community college softball facilities. UCLA can fend on their own.
I'll go with that.
Okay. Bunt fouled off. So Serena Navarrete in the circle for Mount Sac. Tied at 1 with Sandoval for Cypress. Pison and Emily Rush squared off in that first game, Pison being the one that walked away with the victory. Cypress trying to even things up here in game number 2. Ball hit in the hole. Everybody was moving. The runner's going to be safe with a base hit. So Huerta gets a big single. Runners at first and second now.
Now batting number
with
3,
1 out.
Cameron Armando.
So Armando comes up. So the threat of the butt gets the defense moving. In doing so, that base hit happens because you show maybe a possible bunt. Armando squares, takes the first one for a strike.
And some people may ask you why you squared a bunt initially, and that is to get the defense moving. It's like when we were doing Cypress College basketball. You ask why you do that 3-person weave at the top of the key. It's to get the defense moving and out of position.
That one on the outside corner.
Same here with softball. You get the defense moving out of position, and that time Coronado was ranging over to second base to go to the bag, and Huerta did a nice job of hitting the 5-6 hole.
Once again, they're going to go for the lead runner. They get the lead runner on that one. Nice play by Ariana Coronado, who fields it at short and goes to third to get the lead runner. So Adamondo's over at first on a fielder's choice.
Now batting number 44, Nivea Armenta.
So Armenta comes up. Grounded out to short her first time up. Runners at first and second. We're knotted at one. Off the plate for a ball.
And the home plate umpire who was in the field in the first game is Joe Wheaton. Now in the field is Scott Kahn.
Foul ball.
Just ahead, just early.
C-A-N-N?
K-A-H-N.
Okay. Great turnout today. The fans showed up. Love having the fans back at softball. One of the better games you'd ever want to watch, the game of softball with these student athletes. Taking up the middle. Nice short hop dig. Right there in the hole by Coronado to get the out, but not before Cypress College ties things up at one. One run on 2 hits, no errors, and a couple left on base. After 4 complete innings a game, well, it's just like game number 2. We're all tied up at this point here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, myself, Albert Robles. Happy to bring you the game. Don't forget, little Cypress baseball next week on Sportsnet, USA.net, followed up by Cerritos College, the Falcons, little Falcons softball, and we get to see Mount SAC one more time next week as they will be vying possibly for first place in their conference when they meet each other next week on Sportsnet, USA.net.
True. They both have Tuesday conference games. We'll have to see if they win or not. And just back onto the stadium thing, or ballparks, whatever we want to call them at the softball level, for the fans out there to kind of get an idea what we're looking at, and you look at UCLA and some of the fields around here, go online and look at the ACC, not a powerhouse in softball. Look at their fields. Look at North Carolina's. They get into the tournament once in a while. And then if you really want to be stunned, then go to the SEC and look at their fields. It's just incredible. Oregon's got another one that's just incredible facility. So my thing is UCLA should have, they've got money. They have the most national championships. Why do they have a field like that?
Yeah, I agree with you there. UCLA should have a shrine built to their softball program.
Yeah, and it's a recruiting tool also. Every ACC team has at least one player from California, whether that be Southern California or Northern California.
Fly ball, left field. Thompson just snuggles underneath it like a nice day at the park and pulls that one in. So Moran flies out to left field. Easy
Number 15,
first
Celeste
at bat.
Cortez.
And we've been around community colleges so often that you're hearing now that some student athletes will choose a school just because of the facilities that they have, not because of the program and the history, but because of facilities.
Well, I mean, you look at the new buildings that we built here at Cypress because of Prop J, the new SEM, the new Veterans Center. It's already brought people back to Cypress because of those 2 buildings. You can do the same thing with athletic centers. And I mean, Corey, I was here because we did Cypress basketball. I went over to the workout area the one day where it looked like $1 million gym. I mean, they had workout machines and everything else. If I was a little younger, I'd have taken advantage of it.
A little? I can't talk. You were in better shape than I am, so never mind.
Cortez at the plate. Takes that low.
Had an RBI lined out to Emily Rush in her first at-bat.
Cortez pops it up by the crowd. I saw one of the fans running over there trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. That one pulled foul. Sandoval snuggled up into a 1-1 game. In the circle. Her and Serena Navarrete looking like the starting pitchers in the first game. I could open up my pocket and caught that one like that.
Cortez, last 2 cuts at it. Sandoval's got to be careful on this pitch. Inside, it's gone. Good pitch came inside on the upper half. Right across the 1-5 or the Mount Sac on the jersey.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, tied at 1. Just a little low. 3-2's the count.
Great at bat, 7th pitch.
High fly ball to left field. Down towards the line to 207. It's gone.
Over the 207, here's your replay. And it carried and carried and carried, and Sue Lewis blew on it and went out 209 feet away. Again, Sandoval had to be careful if she came on get inside against Cortez, because the last 3 cracks she had at it were drilled, sliced, fouled back, and then gone.
8, Riley Moreno.
And again, we have seen some, well, we saw it at the baseball field, wind-aided home runs last week. Albert Robles out there calling the action with me. And again, with the way this wind blows here at Cypress, Albert, you can see this ball carries very well in the wind on the baseball field and the softball field, Corey. Well hit ball, but again, like you said, it carried. You have to wonder, because if we look at the flags behind us, they're blowing straight out to left field.
Yeah, they were blowing straight out to left field, but again, it got caught up in there. And that thing, I think that was one of those hits that you just look at it, and it just got a second
little nudge?
Yeah.
So Mount Sac jumps back in front here in the top of the 5th on a fly ball that flew. Off speed. Woke up the crowd a little, at least on the Mount Sac side. 2 of the top teams in Southern California. Drive to deep center field. Back on Curiel, hauls it in. I love the way she gets a jump on a softball as an outfielder. She is quick, she is decisive, and she always seems to make a lot of the plays that come her direction.
Now batting number 22, Arleigh Coronado.
So back to the top of the lineup, Coronado.
Arleigh
Struck out, lined out, 0 for 2 in this game. Schaefer just comes up a little. Huerta swings over at second. Emily Rush says, I'll come in for the bunt. Emily's got it. Quick arm at third base. And Emily gets her out. But not before that big bomb to left field. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to bottom of 5, it's Mount Sac 2, Cypress 1 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. don't forget, when we come out here every day, these are student athletes that we watch, and I want to thank the coaches for being such great educators, and for all these student athletes giving up the time to play the game that they love. It's one of those things that people forget. They play the game, they go to class, they help mom and dad, they help little brother, little sister. These are student athletes playing this game with some great educators around them as coaches, and we have to thank all of them for what they do, the joy they bring us, the fun we've had calling the games, and we wish them all the best of luck at the next step in this wonderful game of softball here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Yes, it is important to remember that they are student athletes and they have a lot of things to do. And if you look at the softball teams, they have usually very good grade point averages for their teams. So it is a big burden. And some of us, can't forget those burdens. I still have dreams about, certain humanities classes that I never did my homework in, and it's close to the end of the semester. Oh, wait a minute. Those weren't dreams. That was reality. That's right.
Well, Corey's still trying to figure out how he woke up at 11:30 for a 12 o'clock class. So, I mean, that's, Did you actually wake up at 11:30?
For what, class?
Yeah.
Why do you think it took me 15 years for a 2-year degree?
Experience. Ball's off the plate to New. Grounded at the third. Well, I won't talk about my academia journey.
New will be followed by Curiel and Rush.
Pull down the line, just foul. 2-1. Big bomb in the top of the fifth.
Celeste Cortez is the one that put it far out of play. She is also doing the catching here for the Mounties.
Two runs, 4 hits for Mount Sac. Down and away. 1 run, 2 hits for Cypress. So slim bank accounts for both these teams right now. Straight up the middle. Can't make the play there. Base hit for New.
Is that mark getting nice? I called it a base hit anyway.
Okay. Well, I knew you'd agree with me.
Oh, yeah.
Did Albert agree with us? Okay. 3 for 3, so.
So we still got Curiel, a lefty, approaching the batter's box. New at first base, might be a pinch runner.
Well, the thing again, this time I want to see Curiel drag it up the first base line if she's going to bunt. Pull that drag bunt. She can get out of the box quickly. She's a fast, talented outfielder, and she's got speed in the box. And this is where, now maybe you want to use it. There comes the pinch runner over towards first base.
That's Mora.
Brad Pickler just looked at his hitter and said, Mr. Pavlovich says now he wants a clean, good bunt up the first baseline. With Emily Rush on deck. So you want to get the runner in scoring position with Rush being next up.
Now batting number 20, Cameron Curiel.
So Gonzalez sneaks down from third. Goris comes in from first. Morano halfway. And when you look at Coronado, Ariana Stays deep, it's short. Oh, the one thing you don't want to do with a bunt is pop it up, and that's what Curiel does.
Now batting number 18, Emily Rush.
And you heard the collective groan from the crowd because they knew Curiel tried to poke it out there instead of letting the ball hit the bat and deaden it. She pokes at it as she is dragging it out of the box, and it popped it up.
Yeah, when you want to bunt properly on that, you catch the ball with your bat. Straight up the middle. And if the bunt is successful, well, now you would have runners at first and third.
So let's see if Jordan Thompson can get on base for the second time in a row as she scored her last time at bat.
Yeah, she walked last time up, stole a base, which put her in scoring position. Haley Moran steps in a few feet in right field. Ashley Diaz comes in herself in center for Mount Sac. First pitch is taken for a strike. So infield shallow right now. Arleigh Coronado shallow in left. Diaz shallow in center. Moran shallow in right defensively for Mount Sac. Next pitch, taken as a ball. 1-1's the count. Two runners on, down by one here in the bottom of the fifth for Cypress.
And Mark, you saw the changeup. If Navarrete throws that again.
Missed that one.
Now Thompson again. Navarrete tried to throw that changeup on the one-strike pitch. Now she has a two-strikes here. If she throws that again, Thompson, if she waits on it, will produce a hit.
1-2 on a questionable call. Outside, down in the dirt. 2-2's the count. And Corey, unfortunately, when you get a call like that, if you're a hitter, it makes you broaden the strike zone yourself. So we'll see if Thompson does that here. Thompson loops it, caught in right field on a layout play right there by Haley Moran.
Moran doing it with the bat, and you see here on the replay with the glove as she's diving head first and makes the catch.
And again, when you take that chance on diving for the ball, if you don't catch it, it can kick away from you easily. 2 down now. Runner still in scoring position at second base. Off speed on the outside corner. So Sandoval walked, then got a hit. High. A little too much mustard on it. Gets it up there. Stayed on the bun though, so no problem. What happens when you get a delicious hot dog? You put too much mustard on it, you could lose it. Take it down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Here comes this play at the plate. They tie the game.
And good clutch hitting by Sandoval, her second RBI single. And this time she brings in the pinch runner Mora, who's limping off into the dugout.
So we're tied up at 2. 3 hits for Cypress in this inning. Line drive off the glove at first base, but it was going to be a hit anyway. Nice try defensively. All that did was solidify that the play was a fair ball.
So moves Rush
Now
to
batting
the
number
third
12,
base
Paige
and on the
Schaefer.
throw home. Sandoval advances to second on her second RBI.
Paige Schaefer comes up. Paige was on with a fielder's choice.
So,
Takes a strike on the first pitch.
so with 2 on and 2 out, Cypress has a chance to do what Mount Sac did in the top of the 8th inning of last game and try to break the game wide open.
Page swings over, hooks it down. Nice clean play by Morano at second, but not before Cypress ties the game. 1 run on 3 hits. No to California there here on sports@usa.net.
Well, after beating Canyons in the first game, the Cougars are turning the tables on the Hawks. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Canyons leads Santiago Canyon by a score of 8-2. Also, I think we had one other final, Harbor over Desert by a score of 5-2. And once again, Butte leading by a score of 6-1 in their second game of the doubleheader with Shasta College. Chabot over Los Madonnas, 8-0. That's a final in 6 innings. And I think that's the last score we have. It's not a lot of people have live scoring going on today.
Eliana Mora is in right field. She checks in all purpose, caught the first game. She takes over in right field for Henke. Still in the circle will be Sandoval. And Ariana Coronado will check in to start the top of the 6th inning.
Flood to center, then lined out to Emily Rush. One of the many plays Emily has made today over at third base. Fly ball, deep left field. This time Thompson pulls it in. So Thompson reads it off the bat, goes back with it, looks at it, sees that it's its highest arc, and then realizes the apex and where it's going to drop at, and brings that one in.
And got under it just a little bit too much. And Sandoval has to be careful as it brings up Goris. And again, if she had the home run last inning that Cortez hit, this high fly ball in the deep left field, which Coronado hit, now with Goris, we'll see who Zavala is coming in for.
So Bella might go to the circle, which we've seen her go to the circle a lot this year for Cypress. So we'll see if that's what Bella's going to do, as we're going to get now.
Mora, who just checked in right field, will now come behind the plate.
And that means if Bella goes into the circle, then Sandoval will probably go to right.
And we'll see if indeed that does happen. Here in the top of the 6th mark, 2-2. 2 good games in a doubleheader.
Against 2 quality teams, and of course, guys, we haven't even talked about RPI. I think we've sort of, well, that's a subject that takes 5 hours.
Go ahead and discuss it now as we wait for Zavala to come in with a 4.8 earned run average. I'd like to hear you and Ed talk about RPI for a little bit.
Well, you know my feeling about RPI. I find it ludicrous to reward any team for who they play and they can't beat. I find that, and Ed, you even told me there's teams up in Northern California because of RPI that can make the playoffs with losing records. Isn't that what you told me last week?
Oh, yeah. There are still 3 that could get into the playoffs with their records. If you look at RPI, American River is one. I think Diablo Valley is the other one. Delta did get a couple of victories, so they are they're 2 games over 500, I believe. And there's a Solano would be the other team that's in RPI. I think they're 16th, and they are maybe 7-13, I would say, 8-14. We'll get that information to you in just a second.
So Mora does go behind the plate. Bella Savala is now Isabella Savala, or Bella as we call her, is in the circle.
And Mark, it's funny because you mentioned San Joaquin Delta. They're number 20 in the state poll. But in the NorCal softball poll, they're not even in the top 10.
And no OEC baseball today. Just checking out the scores, and there are no OEC baseball games. Mount Sac baseball beating Cerrillos today by a score of 8-5. LA Harbor loses to El Camino. That was 6-1. ELAC over Compton 8-5, and Rio Hondo loses to Long Beach. That score 4-2. That's baseball in the South Coast Conference.
You see West Valley, Ed winning their game. And aren't the baseball program building the stadium up there also?
Yes, because softball got such a great facility. Now they're going to spend a lot of money to revamp the baseball field at West Valley College.
Title IX, baby, Title IX.
Yeah, it's funny how that works when you bring up one program just to meet the other programs. And now you have to build up the other program and make that better. So now you're going to have to build up the other program. Yeah.
Well, at least they made the effort.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it could be like some schools and do absolutely nothing, then don't worry about it. Bella throws that in the dirt. So Sandoval is now in right field. Bella is in the circle, and then you look at Ilana Mora now is behind the plate. Those are the changes for Cypress defensively. Take it back up the middle as Goris sort of just says, I can hit singles too.
Like we said, professional hitter.
She hits the ball so hard. That's the thing. When you listen to it crack off the bat, it's not like you go, oh.
Yeah, no, that's
you know.
La Femme Nikita, professional hitter.
So it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter in Alyssa Nicholas. Going to come up.
And I was going to say, it's funny when you read stats sometimes before we do a game and you say, okay, these stats may be inflated. We'll see if they've actually worthy of those gaudy numbers that they have. McKenna Barcelona runs for Brianna Goris. But you look at the numbers and we wait and see if they're as good as advertised. And Brianna Goris is as good as her numbers have seen, because she came in batting .585.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's had a double and single in this game, the second game. First game, double, and single. So she's raised her batting average.
Yeah, on her on-base percentage.
Yeah.
Bella can't get that. Throw it first, but they get. So off the glove of Bella. Goes over to third. Thrown to first. So it is a 1, 2, 5, 2, 3 put up.
Now batting number 3, Emily Barba.
So Barba flew out to right field in her first at-bat. Avalos came in for her in the third inning and popped out. And now Barba is back in the ball game to bat.
So go ahead run at second base with 2 outs. On the corner. Nice little soft curve by Bella. Doesn't break a lot. tight curve, but a soft curve at the same time. This comes back with the same pitch.
Why not?
Oh, I tell you, because that really is. She throws a nice little curveball. It's got a very small break to it. That's why I call it a soft curve. And it's also a tight curve because the break is a quick little break. Not that big bender that a lot of people may throw. Bella, 3 times in a row.
And she's
looking for a little chili on that one, right?
And you saw it break that time on that particular pitch. You watched the spin, and she's got movement on it.
So 0-2. Go ahead, run at second. Tied up here through 5. We were tied up same way in that first game. Bella comes up again. Hit the Huerta. Huerta just snuggles underneath it and pulls it in. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, well, almost like a repeat. We're knotted up at 2. It's Cypress 2, Mount Sac 2, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Corey Neyland, and me, the old guy, here on Sportsnet USA.net. It's interesting, Ed. Let's go back to the RPI thing. I know Corey's not here with us, but I mean, when you look at what's going on in Northern California and you have teams are under 500, I mean, there should be some sort of rule. I'm sorry. I just don't think anybody should be rewarded for playing subpar softball and or baseball if baseball goes this direction. Who is under 500 with the RPI getting them in?
The under 500 RPI schools would be American River at 16, and they are 19 and 13 overall. Solano is 15th in RPI. They're 8 and 14 overall. And Diablo Valley, the 3 that I mentioned, 7 and 16 overall. So those 3 teams might be in the playoffs with sub 500 records. And it depends on how they're going to do it. It doesn't sound like it's going to be all RPI, and I hope not, because you'll have a team like Chaffey College that's going to win the Inland Empire Athletic Conference, and they won't get into the playoffs. That makes no sense. Why even have that conference then?
Well,
in Southern California, the only team that would be under 500 in the top 18, and remember in the Northern California, it's 16 teams, so 1 through 16 play. Southern California, it's 1 through 14, and then you take 15, 16, 17, and 18, and they play play-in games. So the only team under 500 is East Los Angeles. They are 12 and 14 coming into today's action at number 13 in RPI.
Yeah, I just can't even figure out letting a team without a winning record get in there, because you said it before, Ed. Hey, somebody gets hot, knocks out a good team, then what do? Season means absolutely nothing in that case. So hopefully we won't see that happen here as a run. Molina now in the circle from Mount Sac, here to start off the top of the 6th.
Well, it's a formula, and the rationale, I think, would be that since ELAC, for instance, plays teams like Mount Sac and Long Beach and Cerritos, which are having very good years and are highly ranked, that, oh, my word.
Nice little off-speed pitch from Molina to Huerta, who just said, wait a minute.
Yeah, we gotta see that one again.
I can't catch up with that one.
Now just look at the way this one goes.
Huerta hits it to her counterpart at second base, taken by Morano for the first out.
So as I was saying, it's just that
Cameron Curiel.
They're getting more points for losing to quality teams than another team might get for beating a team that's got an RPI, they're in the 30s. But, yeah, I can understand that, and that makes sense. But still, at the end of the day, you have to win more games than you lose.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you don't, then whether it's the NFL or CCAA softball, you should have to win more games than you lose.
Adamando comes up.
Of course, we're going to exclude the NBA from any of this conversation.
Well, I was
of course, especially the NBA East.
And unless you have any
that and
situations.
WWF and all those other sports like that.
Armando. There's that off-speed pitch. You missed the one for a strike against Huerta. It was even slower than that and just sort of dropped into home plate. Little magic going on, dancing with the softball. Nothing like trickery, chicanery. Fastball goes up the middle. Nice clean pickup over at short. Taken there by Coronado. Comes across an easy throw. 2 up, 2 down.
Batting number 31, Bella Savala.
And Coronado at shortstop is as easy and as fluid a shortstop as I've seen in years.
Good fielding by Mount Sac. Today's doubleheader. Bella takes that off-speed pitch and looks at it. See, that's the one I turn and bunt on. Bella's hoping she gets another one that she can turn on. We'll see if they bring it to her. They do. That one getting in front of Morano just says, let me swallow it up. I'll get the glove on it. Goes over. And quickly, we're out of the bottom of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. This is where we were in game number 1 on SportsNetUSA.net. We're all tied up at 2 as we head into the 7th. Let's see who can outlast in this game on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, Corey, you got the tail end from Ed Ford saying that both of us agree nobody should get rewarded being under 500 playing softball and getting to the playoffs. He named 3 teams in Northern California that may get that gift. My quick question is then, really the season doesn't really count. I mean, yeah, it counts because you got to play in it, but it doesn't count if you win or lose, and that makes no sense.
Yeah.
All right. See, that's what I like, those educational answers from Corey. That's why he is a educator.
Well, you can't really argue that because if you're under 500, let's say you go on a run.
And not to defend East Los Angeles College. They are under 500. Okay, but they're just 2 games under 500. But when you have a team that's 6 and 7 games under 500,
that's a problem.
That's absurd.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be in the playoffs, or they shouldn't even get any consideration. But I think you're just going to have a...
Mr. Pavlovich ready for dinner.
No, I was feeling a little Brad Pickler mojo going on. Brad wanted me to get that strike 3 called. And then the floodgates opened in that first game, and then Cypress ended up losing it. So here's where Cypress trying to even out this doubleheader, trying to get out of this inning. Bella right on the edge. Bravo just gets a little piece of it here.
And Bravo's staying alive, so you want to keep on that outside. Make Huerta and Schaefer work for this if they put it in play. If she's able to put it in play, anything on the inside, again, that's how Cypress got burned on a couple hits. And that home run by Cortez.
Slow. Drive to right field. Foul ball. And Corey, you look at it. You got Schaefer playing back at first. Huerta playing back at second. Then you look in the outfield, and you look at your center fielder. I mean, I know she's speedy. I know she's quick. But, boy, howdy, look at how shallow she is in center field.
Yeah, but here's where you have to change the eye position of the batter because you've thrown 5 straight pitches on the outside part of the plate. Even if it's a ball, you need to come inside.
on the outside. He's going to say she swung.
I guess not. You don't have to come inside. If she had a nice, and that was a slider on the outside part of the plate.
So they made me work awfully hard to get that strikeout
Yes, they did.
in that inning. So Moran comes up, flew at the left. And again, I look at the position in the outfield, a little surprised that they're as shallow as they are.
Well, Moran shows she has strength to left field, but you said it before, Curiel has such speed in center field. I don't think it matters if she's playing shallow.
Okay. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 7th. Knotted up at 2. Bella. Emily Rush off the shoulder, throw to first in time. Give it to Emily Steen with the ball, taking it on the body, getting the ball quickly off the ground, and making the play to first. No panic. Nice play by Emily over at third base.
So Cortez, her last time at bat, hit a monstrous home run over the left field wall, or fence, as I should say, in line to Emily Rush, her first time at bat.
2 down. Bella floats it inside, gets the strike.
And she starts off with her own changeup.
So Bella comes inside. Yeah, like you said with Cortez, that ball just floated into left field. It got the wind gust, got on the jet stream, and went out of the ballpark. Bella says, here you go, another one in the jet stream. Thompson pulls it out of the air after it goes by her, and Jordan sucks it in like a vacuum for the 3rd out. So no runs, no hits, no error, and nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It's Cypress 2, Mount Sac 2 on sports@usa.net.
Let's see that one more time.
It's a good swing, but Thompson, again, never gave up on it. And with her speed in left field, she had the ball, but the wind, and I'm going to say the wind caught that one more than it caught the home run ball, because it carried her, because it was going straight back, and at the last moment, it got up a little bit more and carried that wind to the 207 point. Great catch.
So here's what I would do if we had, if the money for travel was impossible. No 500 teams make the playoffs. So if you had a situation in Northern California where you had 3 teams that are under 500, you look for the team underneath of them that is 500. Then you compare it to one of the teams that doesn't make it in Southern California. So let's say Orange Coast just misses and they're 19. If Orange Coast has a higher RPI than, let's say, Hartnell, for instance, then Orange Coast goes into the Northern California playoffs. If they refuse because we don't want to travel that far, then you go down to the next team. And if that's San Diego Mesa and the San Diego Mesa says, yes, we'll play, then San Diego Mesa moves into the Northern California bracket and plays. I think they should do it like that. It would mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah, see,
then you don't have any sub-500 teams, and you're still using RPI to determine some of the positions.
And I have no problem with that at all.
Oh, you're going to have a whole lot of people up north have a problem with that.
Well, yeah.
Even though it makes sense, you're going to have people have a problem with that. I just, make a provision in the rules that under 500, you don't make the playoffs. And then you have to shorten the field. If the number 1 team gets a bye, then they get a bye. And speaking of the money aspect, when you're building $19 million stadiums, I don't think there's any money trouble.
Well, not in some places.
So New comes up, takes a ball and a strike. Off speed that just drops in there, strike number 2.
Let's watch that one more time.
Everybody's knees buckled on that one. There's the pitch. And
Molina just dealing right now. 2.63 ERA.
And then she comes back with the heat. But here's the tricky thing about getting too comfortable with that pitch. Because a good batter is going to wait for it. A good batter is just going to stay alive enough to foul off fastballs down the plate like that.
And if a good batter's looking for that, well, the wind won't stop that one from going out of here. High fly ball, just a little early, taken right there. Corey Neyland, somebody was waiting on it, but just got a little too quick on the handle.
Yeah, a good batter, but the thing is, the way she delivers is deceptive also, that you're not sure that what speed it's going to come off her hand. So that also gives her a little extra edge where people have to pause, and that pause is going to make you pop it up or
I think
miss.
New did a good job of waiting just a little bit earlier, like Mark said. But that's where the opposite field against a pitcher like this is your friend.
Yeah.
Because no matter if you're late on those fastballs or those outside pitches, just go opposite field and wait till you get that pitch again.
Cameron takes that off the plate. 1-1's the count. Now this is where you don't want to throw a slow pitch to this little one, because she could turn on it, pull it down that right field line, and with her speed, she'll still be running tomorrow.
She's got a 277 average coming into this doubleheader.
Off the corner. And again, you look at third baseman coming in, Corey Neyland. This is where you'd like to see that slap hitter. Slap it towards third if she can. Swings and misses on that one. So 2 up, 2 down. 1 out away from going in back-to-back extra inning games here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And the way Emily Rush has been pouncing on the first pitch, she's wanting to go home right about now. She had that double in her first at-bat, but she had a single her last at-bat. Her first at-bat of the game was a double. If you're Emily Rush, a contender for Player of the Year in conference.
Emily Rush takes it to right field, foul.
And she was looking to end the game.
Molina throws it on the outside of the plate. Rush goes with it like Corey Neyland says, don't try and pull it, my dear. Go with it. And if that drops fair, Corey, Emily can move also. She's standing there on second base easily with a double. 0-1 count to Emily.
Lean back.
Shot! Down the third baseline. Emily hustling down there. She's there. Base hit. She smoked it down the third baseline. Yeah, I am getting nice in my old days.
Yeah, that was a hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
I'm getting nice. My old days, I would have said, nah.
No, that was a hit straight up. Nicholas was there, but again.
We have to have that debate at least once. I was just setting you guys up to start it off, you know.
Because everybody's a 500 hitter when I score. And so we have a runner for Cypress, Kaylin Lopez.
Now running for the Chargers, number 9, Kaylin Lopez.
Out of Palm Desert.
Now batting, number 15, Jordan Thompson.
Now, Jordan made a good defensive play. This is where you say the person who makes that beautiful defensive play usually wins the game for you on the offensive side when they come to the plate.
Well, it carries over at least for a hit.
If you're Brad, do you jump the shark and send your runner on the first pitch? Oh, you don't have to. So Thompson takes that in the back.
And now you have arguably your hottest hitter, or most clutch hitter, coming up in Sandoval. Last 2 at-bats, 2 RBI singles.
Eliza Sandoval.
And you can hear Thompson got that right in the middle of the back when you hear that sort of thud sound of when you're tapping on a watermelon and you want it to sound good and you hear that point, point, point.
Now, late in games, you always say wait on the pitch. Wait for your pitch. You know, you got to get your pitch before you swing.
I'm going after the first one.
Yeah, because you have to get a good pitch in here. You have to throw a strike. And Sandoval's got to be ready for a strike. Don't uppercut anything. Just swing level
Yeah.
and go after this first pitch.
You hit it on the ground, because when you look at the way the defense is playing, Corey, open up the middle. Wide at second, wide at short. You're cheating towards the third base bag because you don't want that runner to get there. If you can take it straight up the middle, you've got an easy base hit. And if you go to the left of second, you've got a game winning. Squares the bunt.
Again,
Takes the ball, moving the infield.
Because this way, when you come back and pull that back and just poke it to where the shortstop is.
Well, and there's
or
2
the
outs.
second base.
Defensively, hey, if you can drop a bunt right now and the bases are loaded, I'll give it to you. Off the plate, ball 2. 2-0's the count. 2-2, bottom of 7th, 2 outs. Mount Sac wins the first one. Cypress looking to even things up here in the bottom of the 7th, a game apiece. Molina brings it home, off the plate, 3-0. Albert Robles says, make her throw 2 strikes, then I swing. Corey Neyland?
I'm swinging away.
3-0, Corey Neyland is going to swing at it. 3-0 count. Molina. Home.
That's a 3-0 strike, Mark. there's a 3-0 strike. Where if it's anywhere around the plate, high, low, it's going to be called a strike.
Jeez. What a giver. Down the first baseline. Of course, just drags it and brings it in. So we're going to extra innings again. Boy, you getting free softball today here on Sportsnet USA.net. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a couple left on base. As we head to that extra inning, the 8th, we're all knotted at 2. It's Cypress 2, Mount Sac 2 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
So Morano, Coronado, and Coronado will be up for the Mounties.
Well, now that we've already voted on building more softball fields, you, Ed, and I, we've changed the playoff rules a little. RPI is now out the window as far as we're concerned.
RPI wouldn't be out the window. RPI would determine who would, if Orange Coast had a higher RPI than Hartnell and they had a over 500 record, they get the spot. Now, one thing, though, of course, there would be all sorts of arguments against it, and it won't happen. But look at the NC2A basketball playoffs. Cal State Fullerton played who? Duke. Are those geographically close? Is that like close as Torrance and the Czech Republic or something? No, they move the schools around just like in the NC2A Division I softball. You have schools from various places playing in various places. So why can't we do that in community college softball and make this thing make sense? Because they don't let sub-500 teams into the NC2A tournament.
Unless you win your tournament, then you can
unless
be
you
under
win your
sub-500
tournament,
in those tournaments here. And that would be better. You try it for 2 years. That would be better than having conference tournaments.
I agree.
For here. And just simply for a 2-year period, be all-inclusive and have a 32-team tournament to see what that does for you.
Rano starts things off here in the top of the 8th. Yeah, we had extra innings that first game. We're doing the same thing here in this second game. Bella puts one down. Rush goes down the field. Can't catch up with it. Foul ball.
And here's where we need to stop talking to Ed Ford about softball, because now you got us thinking about a 32-team or even a 24-team tournament, and you can have various sites for those tournaments. Like you have the Cypress Regional, the Mount Sac Regional, the San Mateo Regional, and then you have up north, whether it's Butte or whatever, and then you put those teams there.
Taking right field. Throw to first, not in time. Base hit.
And then you could still have the championships at Bakersfield in one location.
So Morano gets a single.
Man, that would be fun.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
22, Arleigh Coronado.
So Coronado now comes up. Runner at first. Let's see if there's a bunt. They go to bunt. Huerta comes behind the runner for a strike. I'm not sure I would drop a bunt here with this Mount Sac team. I might play run and hit, Corey.
I would.
Play run and hit or bunt?
Either way, you're running no matter what.
Okay.
But whether it's a bunt or a hit,
Armando has to go the long way for the out. They do. Runner advances.
Now batting number 11, Brianna Boris.
because you know who's on deck.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of it too. You know, now this is where I might drop a bunt. Just no.
No, I still don't bunt. I didn't bunt with the Coronado, but even though she moved, I would have bunted on the first Coronado.
Okay.
To move the runner, but not here with Ariana.
The middle, bobbled. So an error on the play.
You're really going to call that one?
I'm going to call it error.
Went off of the glove.
It's an error
of Zavala, and then went to Armando on a slow to Armando. Even though she got it, Coronado could have beat that out.
Yeah, it's error. Error.
Now batting number 9, Brianna Boris.
I still call that one a hit.
Well, nobody's agreeing with me on this here.
Just because it hit the glove of Zavala.
Yeah, that's an error. Come on, man.
Base hit.
Error.
Base hit.
That's what I said. Error.
Is that like here in East St. Louis? I'm here. I'm at first on a hit. We right here.
Don't bobble it. If you clean, pick up and throw to first.
Because
no.
Bella got a glove on it and went to Armando. Coronado has good speed down the first base line. It could have been bang, bang, and it looked like she was probably going to be safe on that. So that's why you call it a hit, not an error. Thank you.
Have I ever said that all SIDs and athletic directors know what a base hit and an error is?
I do, so that's all that matters. Okay. I mean,
Corey Neyland looking for that free bottle of water here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So 2 runs, 7 hits. Hits for the Mounties. No errors. 2 runs, 6 hits. No errors for the Chargers. And again, a wonderful day for softball.
Beautiful day out here. The weather's been great. Great turnout by all the parents. Want to thank them once again for making this a great sport, being out here. It's fun having a crowd around you, watching them smile, laugh, wince, moan, chuckle, complain just a little.
You know, I'm thinking about going to that CCAA conference and putting up that playoffs and how it should be done.
Yeah, I think you need the big chart.
Exactly.
With, drawings and cartoons. You use your magic. The whiteboard. You need the electric whiteboard.
And here's the title. I'm right.
So runners at the corner with 1 out and the best hitter
And
today or in community college softball.
Right now, this year. Are we getting 4?
We're getting 4. Gonzalez on deck. She offered, they called it a strike. So she put her bat out there.
Yeah,
she never pulled it back. Well, no, because the coach is coming down third base saying to ump, why'd you call that? And he goes, she offered, she never pulled her bat back.
Yeah, so it should be a strike. 2-1.
So it was. So it's 2-1 is the count. You may want to do that again to see if they'll pitch at you, Corey. Runner goes. 3-1. Now, I like this over baseball where you just put up 4 fingers and do that. I like the fact that you have to pitch to someone to walk them. So now bases loaded. 1 out. Tie game. Top of the 8th.
Isabella Garul. She's going to be a pinch hitter. Again, she has experience with pinch hit RBIs.
So Corey's going to go back to the person that basically did it for you in that first game. I thought you were looking to see if Gabby Neyland had wheeled away or something. I thought,
No,
you know.
just trying to see if she's
Now
cold.
batting number 24, Isabella Garul.
Infield is in, so you won't look to turn 2. Ball is hit at you, you're bringing it to home plate. If you're Cypress, Garul up there. Bella Savala in the circle. Tied again. Strike on the outside corner of the plate. Emily Rush over at third. Adamondo at short. Huerta at second. Paige Schaefer. That is your infield for Cypress. Fouled off. Squeeze play attempted. Love the squeeze play. If it was in fair territory, Corey, they would have scored, taken the lead. 0-2. I come back
Just
with
like
the squeeze
Coronado
play.
would have beat that throw to first base.
I come back with the squeeze play right here. I catch them all napping. Off the plate, 1-2.
Good pitch.
Some people call it a waste pitch. See if you go fishing on that one. Here's the pitch, the 1-2 pitch. There's the squeeze, and it's in!
And that's one where you you've got to let that ball bounce. You have to wait until the last minute to see if it goes foul. Because the spin on the pitch, because we have the spin on that pitch, and the way it came off the bat, it spun and was going to die, but you have to wait to get that second bounce to see if it's going to go foul.
Love the call.
Now batting number 3, Emily
Because
Harva.
with 2 strikes, everybody sits back on their heels, Corey, with 2 strikes. Over the glove, Abella. And Mount Sac, once again, gets another run in on a base hit.
Now batting number 4, Desiree Bravo.
So Bravo comes up.
Here we go, Bell.
Mount Sac, this is why they are ranked to where they are ranked, Corey Neyland. Fly ball in the gap. Curiel gets underneath it. Tag. Another run comes in on a sacrifice.
Now batting
So
number
3
7,
runs
Haley
on 3
Moran.
hits in this inning. So Moran comes to the plate. Pops a little one. Adamondo tries to get it. Huerta goes over. But not before Mount Sac gets 3 big runs on the board. 4 runs on the board?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
3.
Runs, 4
It's
hits.
5-2, yeah.
4 hits.
Yeah, 4 hits. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and a couple left on base as we head to bottom of the 8th. It's Mount Sac 5. Cypress 2 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
An exact replay of the first game.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, 2-2 going into the top of the 8th inning, and Cypress again is there. But Mount Sac made the plays necessary to win, to make the plays to potentially win the second game and sweep this doubleheader.
Well, when you talk about timely hitting, because you'll always hear the phrases, to win softball you have to have good or great pitching from the circle, good defense at worst to win a game, and timely hitting. The magic statement, timely hitting, Corey Neyland. Doesn't matter if you get a bunch of hits. If you don't get the hits at the right time, don't score runs. Okay, you got 14 hits and 1 run, you lose. But timely hitting.
It's almost how I feel about on-base percentage.
Boy, cold. you know, no wonder Cabby shivers all the time. If
get
you're
on
that
base, but
cold
you
and
gotta
you
do
actually
something
hug
with
your
it.
wife. But
No,
that's
but I understand what you're saying. That timely hitting,
That
that
timely
bunt
hitting.
with 2
Oh, the
strikes on it.
squeeze play was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just a bunt with 2 strikes, but it's a bunt with 2 strikes and you squeeze because of the bases are loaded. That's confidence in your team to do what you should be doing.
Yeah, and what you did is because you tried it a second time, you put the defense on their heel. Once you're successful at it, Corey, then you've really got the defense on their heel. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. Cypress needs to find something. Paige Schaefer needs to get on base to start things off. Cypress loses the first one going into the 8th. Now they're ahead here in the second one in the 8th. Paige takes that down and away, trailing by 3. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Mount Sac. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Cypress here in the bottom of the 8th. Paige drops a bunt for the face, safe. No, they call her out at first base.
Now batting number 14, Alyssa Huerta.
So needed to get it just a little further out as Huerta comes to the plate. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Molina is the pitcher of record in the circle. Off speed for a strike. Almost like an ephus pitch in the old days. Arm speed stays the same when she throws it. Swing is the same. Save one. Look, drops for a base hit. So Huerta gets on base. Adamando comes up there. Need a couple runners.
Now batting number 3, Cameron Armando.
So Adamando needs to get on base. Need a couple runners on here to have an opportunity for Cypress. Bella Zavala on deck. Adamando takes a fastball for a strike. Mount Sac showed up big in their opportunity in the 8th in the first game. Once again, they do it here in the second game. That one off high. Molina doesn't get the call. 1-1's the count. Cypress trying to find a little magic here in the bottom of the 8th. Shot. Throw over to first for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Nice play by Gonzalez over there at third base to get the lead runner. 2 down.
Now batting number 31, Bella Zavala.
So Bella comes up to the plate. Needs to keep this alive with a base hit or a walk or an error. Bella off the face. So Bella gets on with a base hit.
You calling that a base hit? That was E4.
You mean old man, aren't you? She caught it in the face.
We hope the young lady's okay. That's an error. No, I'm serious. That would be an error. She's had a solid 2 games. And everything that's been hit to her at second base has been caught.
Boy, I
has
know.
been fielded.
I know which favorite is really liked here on sports.usa.net. Because if you look at the scoreboard, you see what it's marked up there. Boy, I tell you what, you're getting favoritism out here. You show up once every 12 games.
It's called talent.
Pitch running for the Chargers, number 1,
No,
Sarah
but
Crespo.
everything that's been hit to the right side of the field, whether it's been a right adhere or short hop, has been vacuumed up. And that one, unfortunately, had that tricky bounce and came up.
That took a wicked hop.
Yeah, it did.
You know what? If I knew talent was sleeping till noon,
Now batting
not
number
doing much
42,
when
Aubrey
I
New.
walk into a classroom, I'd have become talent a long time ago.
If I was really talented, I'd ask Ed for parking money and leave.
Yeah, Ed would take parking money from you. 2 on, 2 outs. New at the plate.
And New's last time up, even though she popped to short, she had a couple hacks at the off-speed pitch and really was getting her timing.
New goes after the off-speed pitch off the plate, just gets a small piece of it. Corey Neyland feeling good right about now. Look at him, he's about, you're all of what, 5'8"?
No, I was just seeing the quick reaction from Gabriella. So we'll see if she comes back with it.
5-2, 2 runners on, 2 outs.
All 3 pitchers of Mount Sac today have had confidence in the circle, Mark. Never wavered.
That one should drop into left field. It does. Brad sends the runner home. Runners stay. First and second, so a run is in, 5-3.
Now batting number 20, Cameron Curiel.
So Curiel comes up.
And again,
Infield comes in.
and
Conversation in the circle.
sorry about that, Mark. New did a nice job of, again, it came with that off speed, that ephus pitch, and she waited on it and drove it straight into center field.
So we'll see if we're going to get a pitching change here. A little conversation. 2 outs. 1 in, trailing by 2. Here in the bottom of the 8th. 5-3, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Mount Sac. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Cypress College. So Molina stays in the circle. Brad comes over, talks to his center fielder. After a little conversation. Corriel steps in. Cameron looking to get a hit. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
And an off-speed pitch to Curiel should be to her advantage, because if she stays on it and waits it, she can slap a line drive into that left center gap.
Off the plate, 1-1. So runners at first and second, trailing by 2. 1 run in, 2 out. The speedy little center fielder up for Cypress College. Corey Neyland says, get that slap shot going. She takes it back up, over to first, and that's going to be the game. Five runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Mount Sac. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Cypress. Mount Sac comes in today as #1 in Southern California, #1 in the state, looking to get at least 1 out of 2, but walks away with 2 big victories, both of them in extra innings, and solidifies where they should be in the state in RPI rankings. So for Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Corey Neyland, and I'm the old guy, you've been watching Cypress Community College Softball on SportsNetUSA.net.